When an attack comes head on, employ the principle of moon reflected on the water. The moon appears to be really present, but if you strike the water, nothing will be there. Similarly, your opponent should find nothing solid to strike. Like the moonlight, envelop your opponent physically and spiritually until there is no separation between you. Okay, who knows what the 4 claps stand for? Yes?
The 4 elements, heaven, fire, water.
Excellent. Heaven, fire, water, earth. Heaven, fire, water, earth. And it's a traditional bow-in from the Japanese tradition. And when we kind of clap or invoke heaven, fire, water, earth, it's also invoking the harmony of nature, the natural world that we are in, the natural and mysterious universe we live in, and how fire and water and air and earth work together in harmony. And that's what we're learning from and emulating in Aikido, a harmonious order that is already inherent in the world we live in and that is already inherent in us. And then we are training to bring out those natural qualities and bring them into how we relate to other people. Onegaishimasu. Big circles. Keep your feet on the ground and your spirit expanding. Other direction. Aikido was developed in the 20th century by Morihei Ueshiba O-sensei. He mastered many martial arts and combined them with spiritual and ethical insights to form modern Aikido. He taught, Aikido is love. If you think that martial art means to have enemies and opponents and to be strong and to defeat them, you are mistaken. The true martial art is to be one with the universe and to have no enemies. The essence of the martial arts is the spirit of love and protection for all beings. And drop. Release. And let's stretch the neck, looking side to side. And shake the head loosely. And relax the shoulders. You know, the founder of Aikido, O-sensei, explicitly said that every practice should start with gentle movement and stretches and so on. And he put it in the context of that this allows everyone to be able to practice Aikido. He said there should be no there should be gentle movement and move easily into practice, and that there should be no excessive strain. So this is not only a principle in our, techniques of not forcing things, but also to take a gentle approach to practice so that it's truly inclusive and that everyone can kind of ease into practice and find a practice that works for them. And Kotagash. And change. So we're stretching the wrists and also practicing developing our base and groundedness and posture. And Mikyo. And check out your feet. Let's be in left hanmi, left foot forward, and extension. So shift the weight forward and back, and breathe. Sense of breathing out and in. Relax the shoulders, move from your center, and feel that connection with the ground. So our sense of extension and forward movement is coming from the base, from the earth, rather than any sense of force from the arms. The arms express the movement of the center. When I think about Sensei's rules for practice, like starting out easy and gentle movement and no strain, so as to be inclusive, it also makes me think about how we have beginning classes. Like really, we don't have to have beginning classes. You could just start anytime, but we have beginning classes that give everybody a good start. And give everybody a chance to kind of find their own pace in practice, and that's an intention for being inclusive, right? So that lots of different people, so that everybody has a chance to practice Aikido and to see what kind of benefits that might have for them. That's the intention behind the beginning class. If we didn't have a beginning class, it would be somewhat self-selecting who would even start, right? And that would be great, but we want to have Aikido be more open than that. And I think that that's right in line with the ideals of the founder of the art. The art of peace begins with you. Work on yourself and your appointed task in the art of peace. Everyone has a spirit that can be refined, a body that can be trained in some manner, a suitable path to follow. You are here for no other purpose than to realize your inner divinity and manifest your innate enlightenment. Foster peace in your own life, and then apply the art to all that you encounter. The warm-ups, the usual warm-ups in Aikido or Junbi Taiso, preparatory exercises as they call them in Japanese, are not about building up physical strength, but rather about relaxing, right, and stretching and becoming more flexible, and allowing, by relaxing, becoming more flexible, allowing the ki or life energy and breath to flow through us most easily. Let's start with some breathing together. Again, it's a sense of encouraging a sense of breath and energy to flow through us, so we're not, kind of tightly blocked off individuals that maybe are in conflict with each other, but more a sense of that flow in nature. The energy flows in nature and within us and between us. So we're going to cultivate that ability and that reality. It's not like we're creating some new reality, but just being more a part of what is. So as we stand, first of all, just breathing in and out deeply and freely. Breathe in through the nose. And breathe out through the mouth at a pace that's comfortable for you. Let's do a simple movement to really involve the body more here. So as we breathe in, we're going to open and widen our hands, absorbing, and we're going to breathe out, turn the palms over, a sense of really settling into the ground and into center. Okay, let's do a two-step turn. Thank you. Please take a few minutes and do some rolling, forward and backward rolling, and knee walking on your own. Onegaishimasu. As the words for harmony and love can both be pronounced I decided to name my unique Budo, or martial art, Aikido, although the word Aiki is an old one. The word Aiki, which was used by the warriors of the past, is fundamentally different from that of mine. Aiki is not a technique to fight with or defeat an enemy. It is the way to reconcile the world and to make human beings one family. Let's start with Tai no Henko, basic blending exercise. Nick is grabbing my wrist. I'm extending towards him. This is kind of a diagram of conflict. Could be a diagram of conflict here. And so in Aikido, we want to redefine this as joining. And join with our partner. Feel your center, feel your ground. My partner is extending a little bit in towards me, so if I'm not grounded, extend in towards me. So as he extends a little bit towards me, I want to ground that and then join with that energy coming in. A basic blending. And let's keep our head up, so we're not trying to force this looking down, but actually look the direction your partner originally comes in. And at the end, take your time to find your center and your base again. Thank you. Onegaishimasu.
Onegaishimasu.
There you go. All right. Jen? Okay, so before my partner reaches me, I want to have already extended positive energy towards her. Okay, so it's kind of a greeting. And it's also a safety thing. Okay, so I don't want to, if she's coming towards me and I don't want to, wait until she's contacted me. So I want to put that energy out, okay, and blend with it. So this time, as my partner comes to grab, we'll just continue to turn. Take that straight extension into a circle. So we need to be in the center of the circle as the nage. Okay, I don't want to run away from her or try to force her, but we want to join right with it. And then as she continues to come forward, I want to stay in the center and allow that energy to go around, to dissipate peacefully. Please stay connected to your partner as uke for this exercise. Okay, I'm still coming towards her. I don't want to break off, okay, at this point. So if she's letting go and breaking off, we need to go into some other technique. All right? Stay connected. Thank you. Onegaishimasu. The trick is, isn't it, we need to have this sort of melting quality, right? So we become close to our partner without becoming too passive or retracted. Right? So this is still going forward, but I need to kind of a melting, lack of hard edges feeling here, and still keep this energy flowing out. Dennis? So when we're blending in Aikido, when we're harmonizing, it's very important to relax and to allow and to to not be in a stiff competitive struggle that way. On the other hand, to go just yield, allow, and allow doesn't resolve things either, right? So it's very important that our energy actually stay quite positive as Aikido, so we don't want to just give it up. Okay, I'm going to let you do whatever. Well, this is a martial art, so it's set up as a metaphor in a sense. He's attacking me. I don't want that. I don't want to allow that to happen. Actually, I don't want it to hurt me. So when we're practicing solo and we're breathing, right? It's really important to get that sense of your own energy flow. Okay, so I already have a flow. He grabs onto this arm, it already has a flow. Anyway, let's take this now into a more positive, big, expansive movement. To cultivate that big feeling. Big, turn your face. And you can go any speed. You can go very, very slowly here. Okay, turning the hips, expanding out, and taking a very gentle fall. Onegaishimasu, kokyu nage. Thank you. Aikido of Santa Cruz is a nonprofit educational organization that has been providing Aikido instruction in Santa Cruz County since 1982. The instructors at Aikido of Santa Cruz have developed a highly respected program of Aikido training for adults and children. As Aikido draws on inner strength rather than physical strength, it is accessible to people of all ages and body types. Women and men train together in an empowering atmosphere of respect and mutual support. Aikido of Santa Cruz welcomes all sincere students and does not discriminate on the basis of race, gender, ethnic background, or sexual orientation. Aikido of Santa Cruz offers beginning and ongoing classes for adults, with a new beginning class starting every other month. In addition, Aikido of Santa Cruz has an excellent program for young people, ages 6 to 9, 9 to 12, and special classes for teenagers. Through the practice of Aikido, young people learn cooperation, self-confidence, and conflict resolution in a fun atmosphere. So Aikido, as we know, is a non-competitive art. It's very important not only to the safety of what we're doing, but also to the philosophy of it, of Aikido, that we really want to be more and more viewing and engaging with the world in a non-competitive way, in a way where we join forces rather than fight. And we don't have the benefit of everybody's energy if we're, opposing things. So what we're doing here is cultivating the ability to do that, under pressure. And also, both people are doing Aikido. So it's not that one person is defeated and the other person is victorious, even though it sometimes looks like that. That's what's really important, that we redefine, and not just on the mat, but off the mat. That we don't we don't create win-lose situations, or we don't sustain that way of looking at things, because it doesn't lead anyplace good, right? Win-lose, win one day, lose another. A winner, in a certain sense, requires having a loser. The loser is angry, right? Or, feels defeated. In fact, this whole concept of victory, here's, as you know, here's the calligraphy of O-sensei, the founder of Aikido. One of his favorite sayings, Masaka Agatsu, true victory, is the first two characters. And then the second ones kind of define it. True victory, what is that? Self-victory, or victory over oneself. So that's really the guiding philosophy or kind of motto of Aikido, is not to try to defeat someone else, but to you could say, be victorious in your own process, of finding your integrity and living your life. So when we find ourselves first thinking of defeating another person, it tends to take us out of integrity or out of balance. So with Aikido, we're taught to continually examine our own balance and also our relationship with our partner. Right here, not to force things, but to focus on the balance. And anyway, both people are practicing, and so Dorothy is also practicing studying, losing her balance, regaining it, being flexible, not forcing things. So she comes in, this might go quite quickly, and she's practicing as an Aikidoist, she's practicing dealing in a relaxed way with something that happens quickly. Or maybe it goes slowly, and she's practicing staying connected and dealing with unexpected things. Ooh. Being persistent. Losing your balance and catching it. So please practice now with katate dori and let it be a little more free form, okay? And really practice the ukemi, the receiving. Onegaishimasu. Victory over oneself is the primary goal of our training. We focus on the spirit rather than the form, the kernel rather than the shell. Thank you. Let's change the direction of the way the energy is coming in, and we'll work with a push to the back. Okay? And, when we don't feel it coming, we're just subject to it. So we want to practice with a sense of perception. We're not looking, okay? But you can even feel or hear the sound, of the footsteps. And you know how it is when you're off the mat. I mean, there are times when things build up. You sense it. The hair on your neck stands up a little bit. We perceive energy. Okay, so let's practice, first of all, just trying to move with that rather than, resisting it here. Okay, rather than staying attached for right now, move. And the two-step turns that we often practice, this gives us a sense of space, right? We can move and also see everything that's happening around us rather than just going in one direction. As we move, we're surveying the scene. And if you stumble a little bit at the beginning, which is, this happens, right? Then recapture your center after that. Don't stay this way, okay? It's always time to relax, right? And then take another step. Give your partner a big smile. So turn around. Yeah, and so she's settling, okay, into as positive a space as possible. Yeah, relaxed arms, big smile. Okay, onegaishimasu. Thank you. So as you're pushing me as much as possible, I want to actually just sink a little bit. And the tendency is to push, the tendency is to come up, right? And then I could try to stay at the same level, but I actually want to lower, kind of ground it. Okay? Yeah. Nice. Okay, again. Nice. Okay. And bring it up. Good, you got your center. Start to lose it, move and get it back. Here, you push me. Turn around. So as you feel it start to happen, you relax down. Yeah, relax down. That's it. Whoa. Okay, thank you. So this is an example of how we strengthen each other in Aikido. It's an exercise where she's turning around. I'm not going to take advantage of that at this point. In Aikido, we want this to be very constructive engagement. And I'm also practicing. I'm practicing my extension, my center, okay, and I'm giving her very constructive energy. When you work with someone who's, maybe very new, you're not going to push them hard, right? You push them somewhat, just so that the center is challenged and they have a chance to settle with that. So it's a very adjustable practice, and this is really important in terms of Aikido being inclusive, and also the philosophy of blending with each person that's so important to Aikido. So settle. And a sense of positive energy here. Okay. You could, of course, at any given point, keep going if that was the appropriate situation. Okay, but we can't walk off from everything. Anyway, let's now practice similarly, but we'll have some energy coming from the back, but this time the person in the back is going to stay connected. It's not just a shove. Okay, so Jeannie is going to, first of all, she's going to resist this, right? Okay, we're staying connected. And when we resist something, we give our balance up to it. So she's pushing, she's resisting. Okay, there's a loss of balance in resistance. So in Aikido, we learn to try to keep our own balance right in the center. So this time she's going to move, and I'm going to stay connected with her, which is quite an exercise in and of itself. Okay, so as she pushes, first of all, let's just move straight forward. Okay, if I stay, there's a push. If I move, there isn't. I've neutralized it. Now we're going to roll and okay, let's just do one though. Your turn, and then come to the back of your partner. So it's really important that I'm not pushing on her and losing my own balance trying to get back there, but just roll like a cylinder. Allow her to go past. And then, not rushing it, once you get back here, provide that push for your partner. Onegaishimasu. Thank you.
I originally started the beginning class because I wanted to learn about self-defense and just be more aware, and also how to recognize when situations were bad, and not to go into those areas. And I've found that in Aikido. It's helped me to make connections and friends with people, and to overcome a lot of things like, people being in my space, touching me in threatening ways, grabbing here or whatever. And everybody here has been very supportive in helping me find my way through that. And it's been a great way to keep the weight off and much more, fun than going to the gym.
So, in all Aikido techniques, there's an element of surprise because of the expectation that there will be some kind of fight. Okay, and Aikido is an art of not fighting or non-competing. So as that is suddenly released, okay, there's an element of surprise. Those of us who do Aikido a lot, we get used to those surprises. But it's really important to be very fresh with the practice so we feel that. Okay, this is a push. Ooh, there's a surprise there. A pleasant surprise. So this time, we're going to just come right to the back, and this time, rather than pushing, we will just tilt our partner backward. Okay, come to the back in a non-forceful way, and then tilt partner back. So blending, 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 and then if I grab my partner, try to throw her down, it will strengthen a sense of resistance. So we soft in the hands, rotate the body. Onegaishimasu. Thank you very much. 願いします。There's an interesting kind of psychological element to all of the practices that we do. So sometimes we're, partners pushing, and we've given up resisting in an overt way. Okay, I'm not resisting this way. I'm going forward. But there's still a sense of like a forced march. Okay, like okay, all right, like this. So instead, I actually want to develop a very positive way of moving. It's kind of like saying, okay, what a great idea. All right? You don't resist your partner's idea. Okay, yes. Ooh. So there's a physical shift and an energetic shift that are together. Okay, so you might want to take just the next couple of times, here, come from this direction, to just consciously go like this. She's pushing you, okay, all right. Okay, kind of resentfully, go forward. And then see if you can just kind of come out. Bring your center out, drop your center, open your hands, see things differently. Okay, just make sure you get that shift. お願いします. Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you. します。Thank you. Let's see. Let's change to Ushiro Ryote Dori. He's still coming from the rear, but he's grabbing both wrists as if to immobilize. Okay, and here's a place where we can try to struggle and force our way out of it, or we can just collapse and give in. It's like, oh. I think we're all familiar with those states of being. And then Aikido asks us to actually find our balance and join with our partner. And that from that joining, then we can find many techniques of resolution. And when we're practicing a wrist technique where there's some pressure on the wrist, very important to receive that well, to neutralize any strain, no strain. Okay. Center, blend and join. Don't give up, don't become too passive, positive energy. So, Ushiro Ryote Dori, please start out with Sankyo, and if you want to practice a couple other techniques, do so. お願いします. Thank you. お願いします.
I like Aikido. Well, I love Aikido because it embodies everything that I feel as value to me and to the greater good, so to speak. It brings together everything that I think should be brought together, and it builds a great community. It builds a self-confidence. It builds a self-worth that I haven't really found in much other things that I've done, and it's just so beautiful to have such a community of people all working towards the same thing and are on the same wavelength. And so that's some of the reasons why I do it.
So we're allowing our partner to come behind and grab us like this, where it's an exercise. Okay, if you didn't know this person and he started running around behind you, you should move, right? But all the things we do in here are exercises to strengthen each other and to learn the principles of Aikido. For instance, grounding, because it's very easy to get ungrounded when someone's behind you, right? So just practice for a moment grounding. If my partner were to pull up on my arms, okay, I want to be relaxed and grounded. The arms are with the body, okay, rather than like this. Extending, flowing, and breathing. Then we'll practice moving. Anyway, what I'd like to do just for the next few minutes is, let's see, Neil, why don't you be over there? And Dennis, and David, and Jeannie. And so I'd like these 4 wonderful senior black belts in our dojo to practice. Just when you have a chance, run up there with Ryote Dori, okay? And your partner may stand there and let you grab, or they may very often move, okay? So stay connected and pursue those wrists from the rear. Okay, so just Ushiro Ryote Dori, onegaishimasu. And just throw everybody like 4 times each, okay? So be sure to give your onegaishimasu greeting when it's time.
For me, it's a lifelong practice, and I just love the never-ending exploration and just the depths that you can just dive into this pool that is Aikido and continue to find new and exciting lessons. Every time I step on the mat, there's something new to learn, and it's continually fresh. And that can either be a blessing or a curse, depending on your bent. If you feel like you're going to master this art after a few years of practice, then you're bound for disappointment. But if there's something that you would like to delve into that can be a lifelong practice and something that you will continually learn from, this is definitely along that line. For me, it's akin to playing a musical instrument or any other worthy human art, something that you can explore forever. The community, the people here are just fantastic. I've met some of the best friends I've ever had in my life on Aikido mats and continually meet wonderful people here. I love the practice of conflict resolution, and the philosophy of Aikido is for me has been life-altering. The ability to take conflict, which we always have in our lives, and turn that into a win-win situation where both parties involved get something positive out of the outcome, as opposed to like this sort of warring situation where, because I'm stronger than you, I'm correct. It's definitely what's needed in the world today.
Thank you. So as you all know, one of the great things about our Aikido practice is that we practice with lots of different people, and everybody's a little different. So it brings us, first of all, right into the moment. We can't anticipate what someone's going to do or exactly how tall or how fast or how slow or whatever it's going to be with any given person, so we have to stay in the moment. That's one of the ways in which Aikido is described sometimes as a moving meditation. Meditation's all about staying in the moment and cultivating awareness of what is. So our partners really help us with that in Aikido, and changing partners, from time to time, so we can practice our harmony, our integrity, our balance with each person. And the other thing that I think is really important about that to remember about Aikido is that it's a process. It's a practice. So it's not like, you just have it and then you do it, but it's a process of cultivation. The founder of Aikido said Aikido is love. Do you ever master love? We're in it. We experience love. We practice. We cultivate it. We learn it. And same thing with balance and relaxation and positive assertion. All of those things are things that we cultivate through the practice of Aikido. And I think it's a very empowering way to approach things as a practice, rather than I gotta have it, because that already puts us in kind of a hard-edged, relationship to the universe. I have to be this way. But within Aikido, we're cultivating very positive qualities that are inherent in the art, inherent in nature. The founder of Aikido, started practicing a variety of martial arts when he was very young, and also a variety of spiritual arts, meditative disciplines when he was very young, and he just kept that going throughout his life. He had a very strong sense of practice, and when he was very old, in his 80s, and had been just this fantastic, inspiring, powerful, martial artist and spiritual teacher for so many decades, he was known to say, I'm just now starting to learn Aikido. I'm just now starting to get a glimmer of what it's really about. And he described himself as a student of the universe, a student of nature. So I always find that very inspiring, that, it's just open-ended learning and very deep learning, for all of us, and that we support each other in learning. It's a process of cultivation. And meanwhile, we get to practice all these interesting techniques, which are applicable to self-defense, but not to fighting. Aikido is a non-fighting art. There's lots of martial arts that will focus on developing competitive fighting techniques, and those are great. If you want to do that, go study them. Aikido really has a different mission. It's really the way of harmony. So let's do another exercise that actually is quite easy to experience the kind of the blend, the surprising power of harmony. Dennis, please. And David. Onegaishimasu. So let's practice. Why don't you come here and here, just very close, and you're going to just push from the side. So I'm squished in the middle, okay? And this can be a very uncomfortable place to be unless I relax and turn and allow those energies to flow. So if I get into a linear, I'm pushing against David, I'm pushing against Dennis, I'm going to collapse, okay? Instead, I'm just going to relax and turn. It's just easier said than done. We practice it. And we enjoy that feeling of relaxation and release, the non-fightingness of it. And once you release that, then you may be able to, if you need to, throw your partner. You're in a place to do so. Okay, so for now, without throwing, receive that energy right in your center, rotate. Just try to get in this position, okay, where your partner is your shield. Onegaishimasu. Thank you. Groups of 3. Here we go. Okay, just pause for a second, Emily and Jen. So the first thing, right, is to relax and to feel where these forces are coming. And then the next thing is to rotate your body, right? Rotate your body. Don't try to push against anything. but just rotate yourself. Okay, so that the next thing after you're doing that is at this point you want to get to where these two people are lined up, right? Rather than just release the energy and then stay in the middle of it. Okay, so release it and then, if possible, move yourself so you are okay in a safer position. Onegaishimasu. There you go. That's it. Nice. So first of all, you could move before they push. It's always good to remember that. That's surprising, isn't it? Okay, so let's just practice then in a relaxed way. Okay, release. Throw one person and then the other. Okay, just those two. So we aren't just releasing and then become, now what do I do? And then, we run into the same problem again. Okay, but I want to change. Okay, please, in the same groups. Onegaishimasu. Jana? So we've been working with this, push, this energy coming in, but again, what if you turned before that pressure came on? You want to stand here and whoops, okay, here we are. Okay, but Thank you very much. So this is a centering exercise, the Randori, because we've got energy coming in from all sorts of directions. It would be a mistake to think of it as practicing being master of the universe. It's an exercise. We provide very constructive energy for each other and practice blending and redirecting with that energy. At the beginning of class, I was thinking about the rules for practice that the founder, O-sensei, wrote up, and one of them is about starting practice each time with gentle movements and practicing so that everyone can train, and so that, as he said, everyone, regardless of their age or condition, can train in Aikido and reach their own mission, to accomplish their own mission in training. And as we were practicing, I thought about some of the other rules. The importance of awareness in all directions. He said practice at all times. You know, when you're practicing with one person, imagine that there are many people. So your awareness is spread around. And when you're attacked by many people at once, you can think of them as one. You know, keep your focus. One of the rules for practice is to avoid needless contests of strength. He said, in Aikido, you know, it's if you're not careful, it could be a dangerous practice. He said, one blow could kill someone. So don't to follow your instructor's instructions, and you know, and don't be too competitive in your practice. That's important for safety. And then the oft-quoted rule number 3, practice at all times with a feeling of pleasurable exhilaration. So, you know, that wonderful balance then of serious practice, joyful practice, and practicing with many different partners so that we're all supporting each other in polishing ourselves in the way of harmony. Okay, let's bow out for today and come back again, another class, and keep it going. Domo arigatou gozaimashita.